Is living in Northwest Florida worth it? It's a very good and common question that we get asked all the time. Now, for anyone that may not live in the area, that may be thinking about moving sometime soon, you definitely want to know if it's going to be worth living in that area. So hopefully today I'll be answering that question for you. Hey everyone, Garrett O'Leary here with the O'Leary Brothers team here at Lead Realty. Thank you for clicking on this video. I surely do appreciate that. And as always, if you are looking for some help, whether you want to buy a home here on the Emerald Coast or in Northwest Florida in general, then feel free to reach out to us. Sean and I would be happy to help in any way we can. But with that being said, let's get back to the point of the video. Is living in Northwest Florida worth it? Now, before we jump into the meat of this video, let's figure out what constitutes Northwest Florida. Now, on the map that is on your screen right now, the areas that are highlighted in blue is what pretty much makes up Northwest Florida. Some people include a few more counties that move east into the northwest parts of Florida, but for the most part, that's relatively accurate. And you might be wondering what that yellow highlight is. That is actually the Emerald Coast, and that is where most people that live in this area are gonna call home, and it's probably more of what I'm gonna talk about today. Now, first and foremost, Northwest Florida in its entirety is incredibly gorgeous. It is known for its crystal clear emerald green waters and its white powder-like sand all along the coast. Now, I'll be honest with you, those two reasons alone are why a lot of people that currently live here actually moved to the area, but I digress. Before I break into the reasons why I think living in Northwest Florida is worth it, let me bring up some of the points why some people might not find it worth it. Now, first and foremost is hurricanes. Now, I'm sure you've thought about this several times, especially if you were thinking about moving into Florida. The occurrence of hurricanes is something that you just have to live with. I wish I could say that they don't cause damage and they don't happen that often, but that's just not the truth. And I want you guys to be fully educated and fully aware of what you're gonna be buying into if you actually consider moving to Northwest Florida. Now, with that being said, hurricanes are something that you can get through. Now, obviously, every hurricane is different. The storms change sometimes over the course of a few hours, change from category 1s to category 3s or higher, but sometimes they can do the opposite. They're almost unpredictable and they can change quite literally hour by hour. Fortunately for us, the building codes, construction material, I mean, anything that kind of goes on, especially in modern times when it comes to building homes and surviving and getting through hurricanes, has been basically designed to do exactly that, get you through hurricanes without really that much risk to you or any of your personal belongings. And one of your biggest assets you will ever purchase is a home. Now, obviously, I'm not a storm chaser, I'm not a meteorologist. Every storm's different. Whatever you're comfortable with, I always recommend taking the side of precaution and safety. Anywhere here on the Emerald Coast, especially in Northwest Florida, that is under threat of hurricanes on a yearly basis, everybody usually has their plans together. I actually made a video about this, so if you want to check that out, I'll actually link that right there. You can click on it, watch how to prepare for hurricanes on a very basic level. But again, it's something that everybody here on the Panhandle in Northwest Florida have to deal with and have to prepare for. Now, coming in at number 2 on why I think a lot of people get turned away from Northwest Florida and the Emerald Coast in general is the humidity. Now, if you've ever been to Florida, or I would say the South in general, it gets humid here. There's a lot of moisture in the air, so it makes hot days hotter and cold days colder. And I'll be the first one to say it, humidity sucks. I absolutely hate it. But I've been here for a couple years and I would say I've gotten used to it. I don't know how much I can confidently say that I'm 100% used to humidity, but we have a modern, feat of engineering, I'll put it, is that we have air conditioning. So if it is an incredibly humid day, then you have the ability, or if you have the ability to do so, stay inside, enjoy that air conditioning, avoid the outside, play video games, watch movies, just call out of work, whatever you gotta do. That's how you get away from the humidity. It is tolerable, but again, if you have to be outside on days where it's very humid, you can live through it, but it is kind of a hassle. I know a lot of my friends that have come out here to visit, or any family that has come out here to visit, they always comment on the humidity. It is something you will have to get used to if you become a Floridian and move to the area, but it is something that is really difficult to get used to because you walk outside and you're just drenched in sweat, and there's nothing to get away from it. I mean, besides staying inside the air conditioning, but that's where all the memes and the kind of stereotypes of, you know, Floridians wearing, you know, their flamingo shirts and everything like that is because it's breathable. You know, you do get that breeze that kind of cools you down a little bit and has some respite from the extreme humidity and the heat that is that makes up the Emerald Coast and Northwest Florida. So that's one thing. That's a lot of people complain about it. If you can get by it, then maybe Northwest Florida is a great place for you. Now, the third point that I'm going to talk about on why some people might not be wanting or feel like it's worth it to live on in the northwest part of Florida is actually the job market. Now, here especially, again, on the Emerald Coast more so, there's two industries that make up most of, I guess, the economy. That is military or military related, and then tourism. So right here, and especially in the Emerald Coast, there's military installations dotted all around. Most of the people that live here will be either, again, military related or a private contractor working for, you know, the likes of Lockheed Martin or things like that. So odds are you are working for them or are in the military. The next industry is tourism. So obviously, because of how nice and beautiful it is to live here, there is a huge tourist industry. That means resorts. That means all the activities that kind of go along with it. Food, restaurants, you know, all that stuff. Anything to make tourists happier and then keep coming back. Huge industries for this area. With that being said, that's kind of the two major industries. If you are looking beyond that, there's not a whole lot. The Emerald Coast and Northwest Florida don't have huge corporations that call this area home. It's not like the bigger cities, you know, Atlanta, New Orleans, Los Angeles, San Jose, California, you know, all those areas that have these big mega corporations where they employ thousands of people. The Emerald Coast and the Northwest Florida isn't entirely like that. While there is a lot of jobs in the tourism and, you know, defense industry, it's not going to give you, you know, tons of job opportunities. But again, take that with a, you know, grain of salt, is that it's a very entrepreneurial place. A lot of people do start their own businesses here. They can work from home even. So just saying that there's not a huge job market in terms of just several different corporations you can choose from to try to work for, there is still plenty of opportunity. Now, let's jump into the reasons I think it is worth living in Northwest Florida. And that first reason is, well, the area. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I mean that with every syllable and every letter. It is beautiful here. Just take a look at some of the videos I've taken of the Emerald Coast, these drone videos. Just even then, look up look up Destin, look up Fort Walton Beach, just look up the Emerald Coast in general, and you'll actually understand what I mean when I say it is gorgeous. Again, the white sand beaches, the beautiful crystal clear water is something you don't see very often or in very many places, but the Emerald Coast in Northwest Florida is known for it. Trust me, if you haven't been here, you will absolutely love it if you come to visit or if you move here. Now, the second reason why I think it's definitely worth living in Northwest Florida is that there's no state income tax. Now, this applies to all of Florida in general, so you could really take advantage of this no matter where you moved, even if it wasn't Northwest Florida. But again, for the sake of this video, I'm just gonna talk about my little home area. Northwest Florida obviously has no state income tax, so if you are someone that has the ability, whether you work remotely or can make, you know, a change of industry or just moving, consider Florida, consider the northwest part of Florida. You won't have to pay Uncle Sam that state income tax. You can use it for whatever you want, whether it's buying a home, buying more toys, or just doing whatever the hell it is you want to do. With the rise in popularity of working from home and working remotely, it's a huge incentive to get out of maybe where you're living, especially if you're living in places like California, New York, where income taxes are a bit higher. Obviously, moving here, you'll save a ton of money. I mean, I'm no accountant, but you can definitely maybe talk to your HR department or work with an accountant to figure out how you can maybe save that extra money if you are working remotely for a company that does, say, have their home in California or places like that. It's an option. You can consider it, see if it works out for you. Now, coming in at number 3 on why I think it's worth living in this area is the cost of living. Now, again, in all honesty, the cost of living in the Emerald Coast or on the Emerald Coast has significantly increased, especially due to the pandemic and kind of everything that's been going on. But if you're looking at Northwest Florida in its entirety, the cost of living is still very much affordable, especially if you are moving from places like Los Angeles, the Bay Area, basically any of the bigger cities in the United States. You'll see firsthand just how much more affordable it is to live in Florida, and especially in the northwest part of Florida. Typically, a lot of people that we've talked to often cite the cost of living as one of the biggest factors in why they want to move. They want to get out of where they currently live because it's just gotten too expensive to live there. And again, that's why the northwest part of Florida, basically the Florida in general, has become such a popular destination for people, is that they can actually afford to, have a lifestyle that suits their needs and their wants. They can still have fun and have a nice, beautiful home that they can really call their own and do what they want to without having to worry about making ends meet. Now, fourth on why I think it's worth living in this area is actually the diversity. Now, this is mostly because of the military installations that are dotted around all of the Emerald Coast in Northwest Florida, but diversity is honestly probably one of my favorite things about living here, is that there's just so many different people that have come to the area that have now made it their permanent home. It is an incredible feature in my opinion. This kind of reflects in how many different events that kind of go on in the area, the different restaurants and different food options you have, and just really kind of the whole atmosphere, as well as even government policies, like local government policies that are put in place, is that it reflects so many different backgrounds and walks of life when it comes to living in Northwest Florida. Like I said, it's become one of my favorite features. The people you meet here are quite incredible, especially if they bring a different type of lifestyle and different culture that you can now be exposed to. I mean, again, the food here in general, if I can just highlight one thing, is incredible. You have so many different options for such a small area. It's, again, one of the best features about living here in Northwest Florida. Now, to cap off the fifth and final point on why I think it's worth living in Northwest Florida is, again, the actual people. I want to say they are worth shouting out. The people here that I've met over the last couple of years that I've lived here, and even longer for my brother and my rest of my family, is they've met some incredible people that have only made their experience living here that much better. And I can say this with a lot of confidence, is that when I moved from California to here, I've met everybody that just seems to be so friendly, so kind, so inviting. They want you to be part of their life. They want to, I guess, enjoy your company and just kind of improve your quality of life in the area. I can say that in California, I didn't entirely feel that, and moving here was just almost a culture shock. I just didn't think it was gonna be that much different, but I will tell you it was. Everybody here was just so awesome, so friendly. Whenever I went out to the beach to play volleyball, I mean, people invite you to play, you kind of merge groups, hang out, whether you're out on the street or like on the beach, you're meeting new people quite literally all the time. Now, couple that with the tourism industry and how many people come to visit here on a yearly basis, you're basically, meeting people every single night if you're someone that likes to go out. Or even then, even if you don't go out every night, you're meeting new people that are here for a week, 2 weeks at a time, or that may be snowbirds or people that visit, during the summer times. You have friends for different seasons. You have friends that are here for military purposes. I mean, you just have friends from all different walks of life, whether it's career choice or just something they're liking to do. So it's an incredible atmosphere. The people here really do make the northwest part of Florida what it is, and I can't talk about it enough. I wish I could. I don't even have enough words to actually describe it, but I would say the fifth and arguably one of the most important things about why this area is so amazing is the people. But that wraps up today's video, everybody. I hope you now have some reasons and find it worth actually considering moving to Northwest Florida if you are considering making a move anytime soon. As always, I would love to help in any way I can. I'll leave my contact information right here. And again, you can give us a call, send us a text, or shoot us an email, and Sean and I would be happy to help help you find and create a plan to move here to Northwest Florida and find you your dream home. But as always, my name is Garrett with the O'Leary Brothers team, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.